Sunlight paints the vibrant forest clearing, dappling the leaves with gold. The hare bursts into view, his sleek fur gleaming in the bright sunlight. He bounces with boundless energy, a picture of confidence and arrogance. The hare's boastful voice shatters the tranquil morning air. His every movement exudes an overwhelming sense of self-importance. The forest watches, silent and still, as the hare struts across the clearing. Sunlight dapples the forest path as the tortoise begins his journey, each step measured and deliberate. He moves with a quiet focus, his gaze fixed on the distant goal, ignoring the world around him. Dust motes swirl around him as he trudges, a symbol of perseverance against the odds. The winding path stretches before him, a visual metaphor for the long and arduous journey ahead. Unseen, unheard, the hare's playful antics fade into insignificance against the tortoise's resolve. His shell gleams faintly in the sunlight, a beacon of unwavering determination. Sunlight paints the forest clearing in shifting patterns of light and shadow. The hare, a picture of sleek energy, spots the tortoise moving at a snail's pace. A smirk plays on the hare's lips as he springs towards his unsuspecting target. The hare's shadow falls over the tortoise, an omen of the taunts to come. Well, well, look who it is, Slowpoke. The hare's voice drips with playful mockery. Sunlight filters through the leaves, dappling the forest clearing where the tortoise meets the hare. The tortoise gazes up at the hare, his ancient eyes reflecting centuries of wisdom and quiet resolve. A challenge hangs in the air as the tortoise proposes. Why don't we have a race? Then we'll see who's really the winner, he declares, his voice calm against the backdrop of the vast forest. Sunlight paints the forest floor as the hare throws back his head, a booming laugh shattering the serene woodland. The hare struts with exaggerated confidence, his nose twitching with amusement at the absurdity of the challenge. His laughter echoes through the trees, a mocking symphony of self-assuredness and arrogance. A race? With you? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard, he declares, his voice dripping with condescension. News of the race spreads like wildfire through the forest. A flurry of paws and wings converges at the forest's edge. Forest animals gather, a vibrant tapestry of fur and feathers. Squirrels chatter, their tiny voices buzzing with excitement. Owls observe with knowing eyes, silent judges of the spectacle. Anticipation hangs heavy in the air as the animals await the race. The starting gun fires, and the race begins on the forest path. The hare explodes off the line, a blur of motion and arrogance. The dust billows in the hare's wake, a testament to his blinding speed. The tortoise begins his journey, slow and steady. His eyes are locked on the distant finish line, unwavering. The contrast is stark. Speed versus endurance, flash versus resolve. The hare, a distant blur of speed, effortlessly navigates the forest path, his every leap a taunt to the plodding tortoise. A backward glance reveals the tortoise, his shell catching the sun as he moves with slow, unwavering determination. Amusement dances in the hare's eyes as he underestimates his challenger. He'll never catch up. Sunlight dapples the path, creating an illusion of speed. But the tortoise's steady pace tells a different story. Sunlight filters through the canopy as the hare arrives at a cool, shady spot in the forest. The dappled light dances around him, creating an inviting haven of tranquility. He glances around, a smug look on his face as he surveys his surroundings. I have plenty of time to spare, the hare muses, his voice echoing softly in the woods. With a contented sigh, he settles down beneath the large tree, ready for a nap. The forest grows quiet, as the hare closes his eyes, surrendering to the allure of sleep. Sunlight dapples through the leaves, illuminating a peaceful forest clearing. The hare lies fast asleep, his chest rising and falling with each loud snore. Butterflies flutter gently around the sleeping hare, undisturbed by his slumber. Golden sunbeams warm the hare's fur, creating a cozy, idyllic scene. The forest is still and quiet, save for the hare's rhythmic snores. Nature embraces the sleeping hare in a moment of serene tranquility. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy as the tortoise begins his journey, each step deliberate and unwavering. He moves with a quiet resolve, undeterred by the long path ahead. Each footfall echoes his determination, a testament to his relentless spirit. The forest watches as he continues his steady progress, a symbol of perseverance against all odds. Late afternoon, sunlight paints the forest floor as shadows stretch and lengthen, signaling the day's end. The hare awakens, his eyes fluttering open to greet the fading light, a peaceful slumber broken. A wide yawn escapes him as he stretches languidly, each movement a slow, deliberate return to wakefulness. The forest watches as the hare prepares to face the twilight, his silhouette a part of the serene landscape. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy as the hare idles in the heart of the forest. A sudden realization dawns, and the hare's eyes widen with growing alarm. Time, once a leisurely companion, now feels like a thief in the fading light. Panic flares in the hare's gaze as it becomes aware of the lateness of the hour. With a burst of frantic energy, the hare leaps to its feet, ready to flee. The hare's frantic sprint echoes through the forest, his earlier cockiness dissolved into sheer desperation. Each stride is a burst of panic as the finish line flickers into view, a beacon in his frantic vision. His breath hitches, a painful reminder of his folly as the path stretches endlessly before him. The trees blur into streaks of green and brown, a dizzying kaleidoscope of his impending defeat. Muscles burn, lungs ache, but the finish line stubbornly remains a distant, mocking promise. He pushes on a desperate plea against the inevitable as shadows lengthen in the late afternoon sun. At the forest's edge, the tortoise advances, his pace steady as the finish line nears. Sunlight filters through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the determined tortoise. A vibrant crowd of animals gathers, their cheers echoing through the trees. Each step of the tortoise resonates with the hopes and dreams of the forest. The air vibrates with anticipation as the tortoise inches closer. The animals' encouraging voices fuel the tortoise's unwavering spirit. The hare bursts into the clearing, his breath ragged, a plume of dust marking his frantic arrival. He skids to a halt, disbelief etched on his face as he witnesses the impossible. The tortoise slowly crosses the finish line, an emblem of perseverance against all odds. A stunned silence descends. Then the crushing weight of defeat washes over the hare. The forest bursts with joyous applause as the tortoise is celebrated. Squirrels race down trees, their tiny paws drumming against the bark in wild celebration. Rabbits thump their feet, the earth vibrating with their enthusiastic approval. Deer bow their heads, their gentle eyes reflecting admiration for the victor. Leaves and berries rain down as the animals shower the tortoise with their affection. At the forest's edge, long shadows stretch, isolating the hare in a pool of encroaching darkness. His posture is defeated, head hung low and ears drooping, a stark contrast to his former boastful self. Shame radiates from him, a visible aura of regret painting a portrait of humbled arrogance. The once cocky Hare now stands as a figure of profound remorse, the forest bearing witness to his fall. A heavy silence blankets the scene, broken only by the rustling leaves that seem to whisper tales of his hubris. At the forest's edge, the tortoise moves with steady resolve, his ancient shell reflecting the sun's fading light. His calm, measured pace speaks of patience as he closes the distance, approaching the Hare. An aura of ageless wisdom surrounds him, a stark contrast to the restless energy of his rival. His voice rings out, clear and unhurried. "It's not about speed, my friend." His eyes gleam with conviction as he imparts his truth. It's about persistence and determination. At the forest edge, the Hare pauses, a sudden understanding dawning in his wide, expressive eyes. Sunlight filters through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor as the Hare contemplates. A flicker of realization crosses his face, the weight of the tortoise's words settling upon him. The Hare's ears twitch, as if catching a new, profound truth carried on the gentle breeze. He lowers his gaze, a subtle shift in his posture revealing a newfound humility. The forest watches in quiet anticipation as the Hare confronts the depth of the tortoise's wisdom. The sun begins its descent, casting the forest clearing in a breathtaking display of orange, purple, and gold. Warm, fading sunlight bathes the tranquil forest clearing, signaling the end of the day. Squirrels dart among the trees as the forest prepares for night. Deer gracefully emerge from the tree line, their silhouettes stark against the vibrant sky. Rabbits seek shelter, their movements quick and cautious. As twilight descends, birds take flight, their wings catching the last rays of sunlight. A silent lesson in motion. The sun sets, casting long shadows across the forest path as the tortoise ambles homeward. His pace is unhurried, each step measured and deliberate in the fading light. A quiet satisfaction settles over the tortoise as he reflects on his victory. The trees stand as silent witnesses, their silhouettes stark against the fiery sky. He proved that slow and steady truly wins the race. The forest path darkens, but the tortoise continues on, his spirit undeterred. Beneath the vast starlit sky, the Hare sits alone, a solitary figure amidst the whispering forest. A gentle breeze stirs the leaves, carrying the scent of damp earth and ancient trees. His gaze is fixed on the constellations, a silent dialogue with the cosmos etched on his face. The weight of past arrogance settles upon him, a burden he can no longer bear. With solemn sincerity, the Hare vows, "I vow to be more humble and respectful in the future." Sunlight filters through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the forest clearing. The Hare nervously approaches the tortoise, his ears twitching with regret. The Hare bows his head, a picture of remorse, as he prepares to speak. "I am truly sorry for my arrogance and boastfulness. I was foolish," says the Hare. The tortoise looks up, his ancient eyes filled with understanding and a hint of forgiveness. A slow smile spreads across the tortoise's face. "Apology accepted, Hare. Let us be friends." Sunlight filters through the leaves, painting the forest floor with shifting patterns of light and shadow. The Hare and the tortoise walk side by side, an unlikely pair journeying through the dappled woods. They move with purpose, embodying perseverance and humility with every step. The forest animals watch from the shadows, their hearts filled with warmth and understanding. Narration: the forest animals watch them, their hearts filled with warmth and understanding.